Hi, you guys. This is Ginger Cook, and we're going to be doing some fun acrylic painting tips, and things you, as an acrylic artist, really need to know. This is sort of a surprise Friday show. Normally, we're on Mondays at 5:30, but next week, John are going to take a sabbatical for 7 days,
Ooh, a sabbatical.
the first time in 18 months, so that'll be sort of fun. But we thought we still wanted to spend some time with you, and thank you for spending time with us. And so this is a very interesting show. We'll have some giveaways. Someone will win a Father's Day downloadable lesson. We're going to have a probably give away the painting, one of the pictures I'm going to do tonight, but it won't be able to mail it till after we get back. And I'm going to tell you some stuff that's going to really help you save money and time and effort. And we'll have this kind of a discussion. It's going to be neat. So I want to introduce John Little, my significant other, and he's the guy in the command center. Say hi, John.
Hi, John.
And and uh, and we've got two of our moderators were very kind to show up today for us. We want to give a shout out to Judy and
Miss Steffi.
and Miss Steffi.
Who
So
eats a lot of cheese in Wisconsin.
yeah, so it's kind of it was a last minute thing. When you get ready for a trip, you never know if you're going to be able to go or not. You know what I mean? Not that, but I mean, you get so busy. You have so many things you have to do. So that being said, we're going. So, John, if you'll be so kind as to put the camera down on the table.
Done.
One of the things I have in all the hundreds and hundreds of paintings that I've done, and we've done a lot of 6x8s, every once in a while, I'll come back and look at a few and think, and just, acrylics dry darker. Maybe I was just trying to make one point, doesn't really still make a good painting. Maybe I was just demonstrating a technique and it's not a complete painting per se, or it could be better. Or maybe I just look at it and go, oh, what was I thinking? I get some of those, yes. And it's okay, because every time you paint something, you're going to get a little better just by the virtue of having painted it. You're going to see, it's going to teach your mind to see a little more, going to do a little more connections up in the, in the brain. So that's good. So we're going to talk about that. We want to do this at the end of the show. We've got the Salvador acrylic paint set, 24
24 professional premium colors with brushes, 12 high quality paint brushes, a palette, a sponge, and a palette knife.
Wow, John, you sound just like the guy on that likes Mama May. Maybe can you develop that? Do that again. I love that voice when you do that. Mimic his voice. Can you do that?
Whose
What do we
voice?
have, John? Can you explain this for us, please?
Up for bid on this lovely evening, we have a Salvador premium acrylic paint set, 24 professional colors. Included with this high quality set is 12 quality brushes,
Wow.
palette knife, palette, and a sponge.
Wow. All right. So someone is going to win this. It could be you. Now,
Not that one, that's ours.
well, I mean,
We're
you're
not
going to
giving ours
win.
up.
Salvador's going to send one out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, anyway, that's kind of neat. Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
And then, of course, we have the Father's Day painting tutorials from our academy, and fine art acrylic painting. And one of this has got to be one of my favorites now. The cognac and the chips and the
Some of us called it whiskey because they couldn't spell cognac.
yeah, we called it whiskey, but it's really cognac. I think it's cognac. But anyway, you've got the dice, you've got the cards. And the thing that you may not know is that even though we have hundreds of video lessons in our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, and you have access to all of those every month, and we add new ones every month, if you just had a particular painting and you said, you know what, Ginger, I don't have good internet, or I just want that one, we offer all of them as downloadable lessons. You can buy one of just the lesson for that. And that's over at acrylic painting with gingercook.com. And someone's going to win the downloadable lesson for this one. Yes. Or a credit for the, if you don't particularly want that, we'll give you the credit for
its value.
For its value. So you could maybe shop around a bit. Okay. So somebody's going to win that. That's kind of neat. So let's just take a look at what we're talking about here.
The triangle.
I've got all these little paintings that I've done. Here's here's one that we did. This was a lesson, 3 or 4 years ago in the fall on YouTube, and you've got a neat road and kind of misty. I think Mona painted this one. I remember Mona did one of these. Some of you did it. And I'm looking at that, and I feel like it just needs a little something.
I think it's perfect.
It just isn't quite there yet. They don't have really a center of interest. These little leaves aren't popping enough. Acrylics dry darker, and it's true you can get some colors to pop when you varnish, but they could be better. Yes. So that was one. I think, I can't remember why I was teaching anybody to paint this, but I feel like, again, lacks something. Could be better. Don't know what. Could be better. Yes and yes. What could we do? I don't know. Here's another example. This was this tire swing. I don't know why that so appealed to me, but you've got this sort of sad old dead tree and this sad little tire. And I tried it a couple times. I even gave it a sunset, which was okay, but it's still, you know what? It doesn't do it for me. Nope. See, I mean, you guys, you think that, we all just come up with perfect stuff. We don't, but you gotta, when you see that you don't like, it's okay not to like a painting you did. Write that down. It's okay not to like something I painted. That's called judgment. Yes. And then here we have one, which was sort of a beginning one. We've got a really cool one of this with a wave and everything. It's on YouTube. It's kind of a much fancier version of this. I think we sold the original. But again, I've got this little picture. What could I do with that? Maybe something. And then, wow, I've got this one with the boat and the sunset and the water. And are they in the doldrums? It doesn't look like it's so still. It doesn't look like there's any waves or anything happening for these people. They might as well just put the sails down, because where are they going? There's not even a ripple. I know that doesn't work for me. And then let's see. I've got this one. All the reasons why things don't work for me. I don't even know which was right side up now. I think it was.
No,
what was
flip
it?
it over.
Flip it. I think it was this one. This was some flower pots. I think originally this came from a flower market Cinnamon and I saw in France years ago, and I did a really neat fine art version of this. I tried to simple it down, kind of dumb it down a little bit. I don't know if dumb is the right word. Simple it down just so I could, whatever point I was trying to make, it doesn't make it for me. So we could do something for sure with that. You love this. And then we've got this one, which was a lesson on how to do clouds. And happily, I added I added a field, and I don't know, some very gray houses back here. You can't even see. They look like a mistake on the picture. And so I'm not just wildly impressed with that. And then I've got, see, you're going, oh gosh, it just goes on. I have stacks of these, right? And then I've got this Monet bridge. It's okay. The bridge is a little... it's kind of wider here than here. I don't know. That one's not working for me either. And then this wasn't bad. But again, it's dull. It's a black and white. Why would anybody want to paint that? So I'm looking at that going, yuck. Yuck. It's okay. So today I'm going to grab a few of these and we're going to fix them and talk about stuff.
How can you do that?
We're going to do that. I think I'm going to start with this one right here, because I feel like what would be better here would be if we had somebody walking. If we had somebody walking into the fog, that would make it more interesting. Yes and yes?
You give it a center of focus.
And they maybe off to the side here, or maybe off to the side here, okay? So, let me just get some scissors here. I have some. Here you go. And I want to make my, oh gosh, what happened there? Okay. I want to make my person probably about that big. I think about that big. I don't think I want anybody bigger than that. Kind of walking back. And maybe I want him to start here. Maybe he needs to start here. So I'm going to say, I think I like him, because there you go. And I like this center. Here's dead center, which I don't want to put him dead center. And I want him off a little bit. But then again, we could have put him over here too. But I think he's going here, okay? Because I want to pop up some of these leaves and stuff. Because if we didn't do that, this is why we love chalk. If we put him way back here,
yeah,
that's too small. See, don't want him back there. So I think that, and I, before this, right before, like 5 minutes before the show, I went ahead and Googled the person walking, just so I'd have that. But I'm going to show you something on our chalkboard, which is kind of an easy thing if you're talking about a guy. If you're looking at a, we used to do this all the time in painting parties. All right, so guys are, kind of, they get, if you think about a carrot shape like this, okay, and then you think about some shoulders, right, in like this, and then you've got, kind of a jacket, and you've got a head, right? Maybe you take one leg and have it back a little further than the other, and you're just showing the back of the heel. You don't have to do much to say somebody's walking. See what I mean?
That looks good.
I mean, it's kind of a,
But it's as simple as
it's
that.
just very simple. And this little painting doesn't have a lot of detail, so that would be something we could do. All right. So, like I say, I think I want to start him here and have him come up about here. So I'll start with the straight line, and say there's his pants here, and then here's his top of his head coming out this way, kind of down here like that. He's kind of hunched over, and there he is walking. Now, do I want to move him back a little bit further? These are the kind of things you can ask yourself, right?
After you drew him in with
Because
chalk,
I drew him in with
move it.
chalk. So what if I moved him up? What if I said he was here and then ended here? I kind of like him here, though. I think I like him here a little bit. I like him here, and we can just, again, we don't have to talk too much about him. And I think I want to bring out some of the foliage in the trees a little bit more than I have it. Okay, and I don't want to say that much about him. Okay, I think that's the trick here, is to not. It's that that's the bottom here, and then he is down here like this. We're not going to say that much about him. Here he is walking on our road. You know what, John? I'm looking at that going, maybe we should push him back. This is why you want, I don't want him to go over, just lost that chalk. Here, let's try this one.
Oh, good. We have a whole box of them.
We have boxes of these now. All right, so, okay, so he got a little big on me. All right, this is where he's got to be. Now, you see, you could have done this on a piece of tracing paper and then moved it all around too. I'm just having sort of fun kind of showing you.
Well, it's easy enough to do with the chalk and take it away.
We're just taking, because I don't want that. There you go. That's just a little better. That still gives you into the mystery of the gloom.
Oh.
The mystery of the
I
fog.
really didn't think this was a gloomy image.
Well, it's kind of a mystery image, yeah. So there he is. But it takes a painting that's pretty nice, and it gives it a little bit more pizzazz. Yes and yes. So while I'm painting him in, do we have any questions?
Any questions? Vivian's all excited about possibly meeting us in Albuquerque.
Oh, great! And we're
also it's her birthday too. Close to her birthday.
And then we're also going to be in San Antonio and in El Paso.
Albuquerque.
El Paso. So we can in Albuquerque. So in next week, if you're interested, you can use the like a side of the road kind of meetup. We can
you can contact us and let us know.
Yeah, I think I want a little. I think I'm going to make the jacket maybe lavender. I don't want this too dark. I'm just going to add this lavender jacket. And I want to say it's a guy, so I want to get those shoulders out. And that brush is way too big for that. Let's find a smaller brush. What do we got? We need a little brush.
You need a baby brush.
Yeah, you really don't need anything very big. But I'm going to just say, here's our guy. Here's our jacket coming out like this. This is there you go, right? Like that. And then he's got, let's see, we'll do kind of, back of his head, right, like that. And maybe, we want to make sure we've got his elbows going this way. Put those in. Okay. There you go. And then we're going to say that he's got maybe some blue pants. Nothing too bright here, but just maybe just some blue pants. Okay, so there we've got.
How about Vancouver? How about opening your border? Someday we'll get back up to Canada.
Okay, so I mean that in itself is just a little more interesting, isn't it? We haven't put any highlights on there, but we could put a few highlights. Let's see, what could we do here? We could say that there's a. Well, I probably want to let that dry before I do too many highlights, but I might want to.
Is there any specific reason that you would choose to place the walking man on the left side versus the right side?
Well, I'll tell you, I had a lot of interesting things here. It's a good question. Why did I put him here over here? I felt like this area here was more like the center of interest. You know what I mean? This area here had more detail than this. So I thought it sort of kind of cemented this down a bit. But what I've got to do here with that stuff is what I've got to do here is we've got to pop up some of the colors so that we still want to stay in the olive greens. So whenever you want to do that, you've got to add a little red to your greens or orange or something. But I want to pop up these colors a bit more than I have them. So perhaps I need to add some white to this. I need some lighter colors here. Does that make sense? There's a couple here. Let's see what light we're going to get here. I needed a few lighter leaves here. See, like that, so that you'd sort of, you would still want to play with the light a little bit, right? So that you kind of felt like, that kind of put light by him. Okay. And let's do a little bit of brown and green, like a darker green. This is an old painting. Acrylic's dry darker. And I just needed to pop some of these colors up a bit more, like that. And maybe I want a little orange stuff going in the front here. I had a little orange, but maybe I want something a little brighter here to suggest that there was something else going. And like right next to him here where the road gets kind of narrow, I could do something, right? But what could we do? I don't know. Well, let's see, we could suggest that there was let's see, let's rinse the brush here and get some sort of rag I can go. So we can let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's make some sort of a moss green color. Maybe with a little orange in it, a tiny bit, like 1%. And maybe we're going to say that there's some grass. Let's just lighten this up a little bit here as we go forward. Let's just just lead into the painting a little more than we have it. Does that make sense? That's all I want to do. Just lead you into the painting a bit more, and perhaps even darken this tree a bit. It just feels like we lost our contrast when it dried. It feels like we did, and I want to suggest that there's trees back here that maybe. There you go.
Tammy has a good question. John, can these fixed paintings go up for auction? Actually, I like a few. I didn't think of that. What do you think of that, my dear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Next auction's in July.
Yeah. So there you see it. And I think the reason I kind of came back and picked this one is because I think you'll all agree that this is upside down. That's why I'm so confuddled here. Okay. I think you'll all agree that um, we've all been everybody's felt a little lonely this year from the,
Well, it's a
just
good autumn
isolated.
picture, coming in the summer. It's a great autumn picture.
Well, and it's autumn somewhere in the world,
It
maybe in
is,
Australia or
absolutely.
somewhere else, right?
You
So,
betcha.
I didn't want to do too much, but I wanted to I wanted us to feel like we had something going on here, right? That made it more interesting. So we got a little, let's lighten up this road a bit. So now we're kind of bringing you into the picture. We're not adding puzzles, puddles or anything. I'm not trying to do anything too clever. I'm just saying, what could I do that would sort of um, give this
A little more interest.
just a little more interest. I mean, don't have to have a lot of interest, but a little interest.
A little more of a story.
And people are from behind are really easy to do. In fact, I would encourage you when you're out with your friends taking pictures, take some shots from the back and watch how people walk, because everybody has this thing. You can tell who it is from the back the way they walk. And I think we had a little bit of this green on this tree. Okay. And just something softer. No, could I come up here and, I don't want to take too much away from this, just a few little drops of color right there for that guy. And there he is walking, and we're not talking too much about it. And I think that that's a nice way to
fix up a painting.
Fix up a painting. I mean, it doesn't, sometimes you can just do a couple things and it's just slightly better than what you had, and that's all right, right? And again, when we varnish this, of course, the varnish would bring out some colors. Okay, I'm sure it would, but
Oh, here's a good question for you from Terry. John, would there be a shadow behind the man? Looking at the day, it's a very heavy overcast.
it's
I bet
foggy.
no shadow.
No, there wouldn't be.
It's a very late fall day, and it's cold and gloom. Oh, it sounds like Michigan.
Yeah, there really isn't. You'd think there'd normally
There's
be
no
one,
shadow.
but if there was any kind of shadow, it would be
It would
very
be so
close to him.
soft.
It would be so soft. It would be very close to him. See, you just wouldn't see it.
That's too
You
strong.
can add just a little tiny bit, but you really wouldn't see it.
No,
And
he's in the deep woods.
He's in the deep woods. There's a little bit of a light here where his collar goes.
Maria would like to know, does Ginger display her art in any art festivals in Houston?
No.
We don't have time. Are you kidding me?
No.
We barely make it to the show on time. Well, we haven't yet.
Okay, so I would say that's probably all I'd do to this one.
No, I think you got a winner now.
I think just that, and I think that's just something, we kind of lightened up the path a little bit here, going back this way, and give him a little bit of a and it goes off into the fog. So, all right, so that's about what I would do to this one.
About?
Now, this came up. I'm going to take a minute and talk to you about canvases and buying canvases. Why I'm thinking about what to do with, say, one of these. Right? Let's do this one next. When you're talking about buying canvases, came up recently. One of our Academy members. We do very large paintings in the Academy, not just small little 6x8s. And she bought a 20x20 canvas, and those are not cheap. What do they run, John? A good 20x20 canvas? $40.
Oh yeah, a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good one. Could easily $40.
Yeah.
So, and then when she went to lay out her picture, it was the canvas was warped. So here's what you want to do:
canvas.
Take a tape to the art store with you. If you're going to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or someplace, take a measuring tape, and you've got to measure from corner. Let's see, that isn't quite long enough, is it? I don't have a measuring tape with me on this one. You've got to measure from corner to corner, and these numbers have to match. If they don't, you've got a warped canvas.
And
And
it
then
doesn't hurt to measure just horizontal and vertical because we bought some 9x12s that were 9 1/4, and that won't fit in a 9x12 frame.
yeah, so and then you want to hold the canvas. Can you see what I'm doing here? Hold it against a flat table. And you want to make sure you don't see any air under the, just keep turning it like that. Make sure there's no air underneath it.
Where it
And these
touches-
are some notes you want to take down. I'm not going to list them here for you. Take this down. You know, take the tape measure. If you bought a box of canvases in the mail, take them out and do that and measure them because you've got a window to return them. And if you haven't returned them, by then that you're what they call in the car business an owner, right?
Hey, Debbie likes to know, can you repaint after you varnish it?
Depends on the varnish. We always use acrylic varnishes, and so yeah, you can.
With the varnishes we do,
Yeah, we
use,
can-
we
we
use the Liquitex acrylic varnishes, and yes, you can.
So I'm looking at
And yes,
this,
we have.
and I want this side of. I like this side of the bridge, right? So do I have any of that acetate, John?
Only if I get up.
I don't have any acetate somewhere.
Only if
Tracing paper, acetate.
I don't know. I think that one you had was taken away from you.
If you could, John's going to give me a piece of acetate, and I'm going to just show you a trick. The bridge is off. Now, one thing you can do when you're painting something like this is if you know that this is your arch, right? So one thing you can do is you can take a pencil and say, this is how hot, all right, so this is where I want my bridge, right? Like this, right? So this is the space, and I'm going from, thank you, John. I'm going from the top of the white part of the bridge, right, to the top of this white part, okay? Now, as I move over here, that still looks right. As I move over here, that looks right. As I move over here, that looks right. And I move over here, this is kind of off right here. This is not right here. So one thing you can do is you can take some acetate, right?
Or tracing paper.
Or tracing paper. And let me see. Did you ever give me a Sharpie?
Nope, didn't get any yet.
They didn't come in yet, or the Sharpies never came, or
No.
I
We
ordered a
just
whole
talked
box.
about it yesterday.
No, a whole box of Sharpies. They came like last month or something.
Of Sharpies?
Sharpies.
Real Sharpies?
Yeah, real Sharpies.
Really?
He doesn't remember
Who
this, you
ordered them?
guys. I remember. I'm gonna Amazon that. I'm gonna look on my Amazon because I swear we ordered some.
Well, I can bring that up right over here.
All right. So what I want to do is I'm gonna just say, let's just say I like this part of the bridge to here, right? And I want it to be the same on the other side. I'm going to do this. Okay. Whoops, got to kind of get it right here. Okay. Now, see that? So if I flip that over,
The last order for Sharpies was in May 27th of 2020, and they were the oil-based black sizes, extra fine, fine, and medium.
so I'm not too far off, but I'm a little. You can see where I'm it's almost pretty, it's not bad, but this bridge is coming down here. So where's it off? It's off on the underside of it. So it's off here. So it's just doing this. So anyway, that's how you can kind of do something. You can use the acetate. Even if you're using a reference photo, you can trace the reference photo on this and lay it on top of your picture as you're painting. This is marvelous stuff to have. We bought this on Amazon, like tablet of this. This is great stuff. It wipes off. You can clean it up with a tub of towels or something. It'll clean off. Here, see? That just comes right off, and you can use it again. Maybe.
What'd you use?
Did I use the right side? I used it. Yeah, well, it didn't come off. Well, never mind. should have come off. Some of it came off. Well, all right. So there. But so I want to do something with this picture. So what am I going to do? I don't like the colors. I don't like the water. I don't like anything about it. So so what? What can I do? What can I make it more interesting? Well, what if I had some pretty flowers here and maybe this came up a little higher and I didn't have to talk about this side of the bridge that much and I brought something up higher here? That might be interesting, right? So what if I had a, let's see, what if we just did something a little darker? And if we had a tree that came up here. Okay, that's one thing we could do is just, bring something up, okay? And then, let's see, we've got a lot of gold that's kind of reflecting in the pond. You see that? So the gold's reflecting in the pond. Well, that's okay, but there ought to be something else. So what is the complement of orange? It's turquoise, right? So if this is reflecting in the pond, might there not be some sky showing somewhere? And if there was sky, this is all deep dark forest. But maybe there would be. We might add just a little bit of that blue. It's not a lot, just a little touch of that. Again, you may not like it, but I mean, I'm just saying that for me, turquoise being the optimum word here for that. So there's that. And then what else could we do? We've got a light source. I said we've got a light source coming from this way. But one of the things I don't like is I don't like how wide these posts are. I think they're awkward. Okay. So I'm going to take them out. They're just going to get painted out. Okay. There. Okay, so I'm liking this better already. And I think this bank could be more interesting if it wasn't just a straight bank, so I'll do something like that. All right, and then what else could we do? Well, and it's fun. Once you've decided you don't like something and you were on the verge of throwing it away anyway, right? So what do you got to lose, right? Try it, right? If at this point it's so dry, if I hated it, I could wipe all this stuff off. But I'm going to just do a little bit of light in the water too. There we go. Not just that. Okay, so let's do that. Now I've got this white bridge, which isn't all that interesting. So what color could we make the bridge? What if we made the bridge red? Okay. I just want you to see that you've got a little leeway when you're painting stuff. Make the bridge red. Okay, I've got this red bridge. Doesn't show up very well now, does it? So do we like the red bridge?
I like the red bridge.
Huh?
I like the red bridge.
John likes the red bridge. Okay, so we like the red bridge. Maybe we need a little bit lighter on top here, like that. We like the red bridge. Okay, so we've got this red bridge kind of subdued, it's a neat red bridge. And then I'd like to see more greenery. So one of the things I can do is come over here to this pile of stuff we've got. I want get out some colors here. Do I have this color out? No, I don't have this color out. It's a neat color, isn't it? Well, Salvador color. So I want some brighter stuff. So I want to say that there's my tree. And Okay, so we did a little bit, like the red bridge, maybe. And then what could we do? Well, I think we could brighten up the greens in the front. So we could say that the greens, do some dark greens. Let's just say that there's some brighter greens in front. Maybe even a little greens growing on the bank. Green and red are complements. Okay. Now we've already popped this picture up by a lot, haven't we? We haven't done much. A little yellow. Okay. So that's kind of fun, right? Yes and yes. So then what about this tree here? What could we do with this tree here? Well, I'll tell you what, I think we're going to have to let that dry, but I think what I'd like in front are some like beautiful purple flowers, maybe. These purple? Yeah, this is sort of purple. The purple flowers would give that a little more interest, and maybe some little gold in them. Dot some of that in there. Those are little iris things. Okay, so that's more interesting. Yes and yes. And then if we had some over there, what's growing over here? Anything? Just barely touching any paint on the corner of the brush and just touching this. Okay, thing over there. Is that something showing over there? Then I want some white here. I want to do some white. Maybe some sort of white, kind of off-white weeds that are here too. Okay, so we popped that up a little bit. And so if we're saying it's kind of fall time, right? That there's some flowers, but it's kind of fall. Our tree doesn't have a lot of leaves on it. And do we like the fall leaves? Not as much as I thought I might, right? So I'm going to leave this sit there. We're going to work, while this dries, we're working on another picture. What do you guys think?
Good idea.
So, all right, what can we do with this? Well, the original reference photo is long gone, went to France or whatever. But I think what I want to do is encourage some greens in here. What we don't have is some nice greens. And what I want is to bring up some of these colors that are so dull. Sometimes you just need to pop in something, right? And bring something a little bit to life. Now, maybe this was supposed to be a sign here. I don't remember what it was supposed to be, but I think this was a sign about how much flowers were. But maybe we need to lighten that up a bit. That sign. Okay. And I like these sort of innocuous ones here, but I could do, maybe in this case, all I want to do is pop up maybe some yellows. That's all you have to do is just pop something up a little bit, right? And come in here like that. So you've got some flowers there. So you've got these yellow, you've got some orange, and I think the sign needs a little bit to be a bit lighter. Okay, and then I feel like we need something light back here too. So one thing we can do is when you're talking about reds, now this is absolutely true. Just get some better greens in here. Here's some dark. Here's a dark green, but it's not so dull. So let's break up some of these flowers, which are kind of big, and add some brighter, little bit brighter green. Kind of do that. We can do that. Any questions, John? Why I'm happily doing all this?
Nope, everything should be under control. My queenness.
We got a group here today. We got a lot of thumbs up for our drawing, right?
216, 329 watching.
We need a few more thumbs up to get the drawings going, you guys. If you can do that for us, that'd be great. So you can see, I mean, so what have we done here? Really, what we've done is we've just, again, popped some colors that really needed to happen, right? Didn't have to do much. Now, the secret with red flowers is that they're much happier over white. So if I were to paint out these flowers right here in white, and a couple, say a couple right there. Let's just do it with there's some green. We won't do that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to paint those red, but I want the red over dark green never shows up very well. So if you want your red flowers to show up, or your yellow, they've got to be white first. Yes and yes. So let's just say I wanted these to be brighter. So we'll let that dry and come back to that, yeah? So I think we were back here discussing what to do with the with this, and I think we decided that we wanted to have some brighter flowers in here, some brighter greens in here like this. Maybe lighten this up a bit. Now we've got you see, just by doing this, we got a little bit more depth in the picture, because the brighter flowers are coming forward. And I like these yellow flowers on this tree. Kind of like these yellow background flowers here. There's some sort of yellow bush that's going on here like that. I like all that. So I think we'll keep it in the golds and the yellows and bring this bush forward. Okay. And saying that there's this tree. Maybe a tiny bit of the orange. Let's do a little bit of this bright orange right here on the top of that bridge. Okay, so we kind of brightened up the bridge. And what else could we do? Well, we could take that light green color, maybe even lighten it up a little bit more here. I'll suggest maybe there was a path going back here behind that tree. Now, I like the little bit of the blue in the pond. I think that's sort of happy, yes? So what if we just then added some thinner rails?
Okay. Posts, you mean?
Yeah, posts. Well, they're posts. Yeah, so what if we said, all right, I like this post. I'm going to just put this post in. I like this post. I'm not going to keep them all. They got too many. I'm going to put this post in. Maybe this one. You want them straight up and down to the sides of your canvas, right? We're going to suggest there's one back here that we don't see. Okay, so I've got these posts. And when that dries, I'll make them red, right? And let's do a little bit of something back over here too. Let's get a little light going up on this tree here. Something in here to bring the bright colors come forward, right? So we want it to have some of that. Maybe I want a little bit of this, a little bit of green over in here. Don't need it all that dark. Okay, so now we sort of got a vignette of the bridge. And then if I like that red bridge, I might give it another coat of red. Yes and yes. Red's one of those things. Write that down. Red needs 2 or 3 coats. Yeah. Okay. Got that red bridge and that nice little tree here, which we could still do something with, right? And what else should we do? I think that's pretty good. I think that to me, that, gives it a little bit more of oomph. But again, just by making the rails smaller, yes and yes. Let's put some of this foliage back. That improved this picture, I think. So now we brought the painting into the, we brought the viewer into the painting a little more effectively, that's all. And I kind of like these purple flowers. I might put a few. I like these purple. Just hint some going back this way. Maybe over here against the far bank. Got somebody growing them back there too. That kind of balances out those. And maybe I want some red dirt. So I'll say that there's a little bit of red dirt in here too. Oh, I like that. Kind of can't have the bridge, the only bit of red, kind of a reddish brown dirt. All right, so I would say that that's an improvement for me anyway over the over what we had. Yes and yes.
Big
So
improvement.
Improvement, and that's all. Sometimes you can just go back. You look on some paintings. You may just want to paint it again rather than try to go back and fix something you did. Maybe you want to paint it again. Maybe you can add just a little something, like we did with the with this by adding the person walking. We gave it a little bit more. It gave it a little more story. Yes and yes. So, I mean, those are just, just my suggestions. That's how I see the world. Now, we all see the world differently. And, as artists, you talk about what does it comedians do for you? What comedians do what? What comedians do is they went to the same airport you did and got on the same airplane, but then when they tell the story, it's hilarious because they see the world a little differently. And that's one of the things that artists have the privilege of being able to do, is show the world a little differently. You can leave out the power lines and the clothes on the you're not documentarians. You're artists. You're going to show the world as you'd like to see it. So let's see, what else could I do? I'm not going to fix all of these, but let's see, what could I do with this one? Well, the subject is this these big clouds, yes and yes. And I like those. And I might come over here and let's see, what if I even exaggerated those a little bit. Okay, so I don't like that, so I'm just going to wipe that off. See, that's what you can do. Don't you love it? Because it's dry. You've done this a long time and it's dry. So I want to do it again. And just have these, maybe just get a few more clouds here. There we go. A little bit of white. A little bit of blue in the clouds, a little bit of gray color. You know, maybe I want to just exaggerate this a bit more in the clouds. I want something that's very white here. Just kind of pop this up a bit, right? It's interesting, but let's just pop it up some. And then down here at the bottom, we've got all this way back down here against the against here we have the clouds are kind of, these thunder clouds are coming all the way down to the mountains that are in the background, and they're just all down here. And then maybe if you do stuff at an angle, you can suggest rain. Did you know that? You can suggest rain if you paint something a little bit at an angle. Just you do all that, and then you just okay, so that's a little more interesting, yeah, in the background. And then what about all this? Well, what could we do? We could brighten this up a bit, right? Just not too much, but just, goodness gracious. We could certainly brighten this field up. Yeah. And I don't think I would put houses, if that's what those were. I don't think I'd put them way up on top of there. So that should be really sort of just sort of blue.
The houses are going.
That's got to be they're gone. That's got to be like see, I don't have the right color there. I need ultramarine blue. I didn't have that out. Put a little ultramarine blue out. Okay. Now, if I had a little bit of this white underneath this, like this, I could suggest that there was like a mist back here too. A little bit of mixing white would even be better. It's kind of purpley, aren't they? These hills. Let's put a little purple in that. Purple and why would we want purple? Well, because purple and yellow are complements. So if we make the hills a little purpler. Now, gosh, we didn't have to do a lot with that, did we really? No, let's just put a little purple in the rows here. And we've got, again, we've improved the picture just the slightest little bit, but still we've improved it. And it kind of, in other words, you've got options, you know, much more than watercolor or say oil paintings because of the way the paint dries. Acrylic's dry, you put a hairdryer on it and say, I'm going to plan B. So there you have it, and I really like this little bit of white right here I have. So if I had some, let's see, I'm not sure where the zinc white is in this, on this palette. That's titanium. This has got to be the zinc. The zinc is nice because it's translucent. So you can take, say, you want these dark green things, these dark green hills to show up. You just put a little, let's see, we need a rag here. You just put a little of that on here like this. And you just come up like that with it. And now you've got kind of an interesting painting. We didn't need any houses, didn't need anything. I'll take a little of that zinc. Okay. So I think this shape right up here I want to break up too. I don't like this shape right here. I'm going to break that up in the cloud. The zinc is a wonderful cloud uh, color because it lets the color underneath show through, which makes it really handy. So just again, I didn't want these to say that much. These thunderclouds, they're here, but they don't need to say that much. Okay. So, and then let's see, I've got, this is the titanium, but it should be titanium. All right, so then if I'm saying, see, here's the, okay, that's the titanium right there. Make this a bit brighter right there. So they have some, there you go, and just pull the brush down at an angle. Okay? And, can I do anything else? Well, let's take a little bit of the yellow in that brush and okay, so it leaves you into the thunderstorm and back. All right, so that is, those are, I think that one, we certainly have improved on that one. So, what happened here? Oh yeah, I remember. We thought these would be nicer, like the Queen of Hearts painted red. Still wet. All right, let's move on to one more, and then we'll come back to this. You guys, do you have any questions on this? Because I think it's kind of a fun thing to know how to do. One of our friends wrote and told me, she said this is one of her favorite episodes when I go back and I take paintings I don't like and do something else with them.
What's the brush you've been using on those clouds?
This is this
Oh,
the
that's
one.
a Salvador brush.
That's a Salvador, little tiny pointed Salvador brush. It's very nice detail. So I feel like we could do something with this. Don't you think so? So yeah, let's do something with that one. For sure. And let's we've got the light because I know that because I've got light on this side of the fence post kind of coming this way. Yes and yes. And we've got some birds which are sort of okay. But so why not lighten the path? What if the path were lighter? Notice I'm letting some of that other color underneath it show through. But I want you to be able to get to the beach, right? Okay, so we've got a little bit of light on the path here. And notice it gets narrower as it goes that way. Okay? And that's okay, but it still doesn't do it for me. But, I mean, that's all right. It's a good start, yeah? And we've got this water that's really uninteresting. And the sky, I'm not holding my breath for the sky either, quite frankly. So then what? Well, let's take a measurement on this, shall we? Let's measure. This is obviously 6 by 8. And so this is halfway, so that we do not have the horizon line, at least in the middle, which you don't want. And is it square? How is our horizon line? Is it level? So if we do this with our triangle, you guys, if you don't have a triangle, get one. I can't say enough about that. So I want to know if this line right here is straight. So I'm going to line the triangle up parallel to the side of my canvas, like so. Okay, let's move some stuff out of the way so it kind of lies flat, right? So here, this is level. Oh, look, it kind of isn't, is it? Look at that. See how this is off right there? So, what do we do? Well, we could do this. Okay, so we're going to say that's the next, that should be our level. That should be level right there now. if we weren't sure, let me just put this up again like this. Gosh, where my littler one goes. Well, here, I'm going to do it this way with the T-square because I want to say that I'm going to use the T-square. Is it level? Well, kind of. Okay,
Getting there.
getting there. Just took a little bit. All right, so the water's level. That's a start. It is darker toward the back. The water says what kind of climate it is. If it's very turquoisey and turquoise blue, then it says it's like Hawaii or something, right? The Caribbean. So let's come back here like this and do something with these clouds here. Got something here. I want some clouds up here. I want to make this a little more interesting. I'm going to put some clouds here like
We had a
that.
question of your clouds.
Yeah.
Cherry would like to know, how do you make the edges of the clouds look so fluffy?
You've got to keep the brush moving all the time. It's almost like you're connected to some sort of electric machine. That makes sense? And
You're
you
being
want to,
zapped.
you've got to keep it moving, keep the brush moving. All right, that's a little better. Still not that interesting. So, what if we had a wave that was coming here and curling over? Let's do that. Let's be the last of the big spenders and put a wave here. You can always paint this post back in. I'm not worried about the post. Okay, I'm going to say there's a wave coming here, like this. Like that. And then as it comes up, so we want the water. Okay, let's try this blue. Try some more white over here. All right, so what I want to do is that when your wave comes up, because it's sweeping up, right? So let's see, do we have any white here? I don't like light. It's sweeping up, yeah. And then it's when it becomes a wall, it's dark, because the light is kind of when it comes up, this part's dark, and then it goes back down, and it's a sort of a gradation thing, right? So it's not always kind of like it's not always that. So we're gonna say we want a wave back here. And what's not interesting about that wave is the fact that it's totally level. So let's give it a peak here. Let's just say that this wave is peaking here. Okay. Okay, again, I'm just going to kind of ignore all of this in here because I've got to have it all wet to make this work. Okay, I'm saying there's my wave coming forward. And I want some lighter water in here. Okay, and just lighter water in here. So basically what you're doing is you're painting over the whole thing. Well, not totally. I'm redesigning the painting. How's that? Right? Going to redesign the painting. Like
You're
so.
changing it to a whole new painting.
So then I know I want this to come up like this. This has got to sweep up. Yes and yes. Got to sweep up a little bit. This is sweeping up. And because there's a movement in it, right? Maybe just, okay, so it's just sweeping up like this. Maybe we'll even want a little green in it. There is some green in this water. You don't have to have green, maybe not. All right, so we got it sweeping up like that, right? There we go. So then what happens? Well, at some point it's got to cascade over, and at some point it's got to cascade over the top of this. and pull down like this. Barely touching this now. Just gonna pull this down. Because it's, I would call it, this is a breaking wave. Okay. So if we're saying this wave is breaking here, and maybe we've got a couple, it can't be the only one, can't be lonely. Well, that's too wide a wave, that you'd want the line much thinner than that, right? So way back here, we're going to say that there's another one here that's maybe just suggesting something happening. So here's our wave, our water coming into shore here. And I might bring the water down a little bit below the grass. You can always put the grass back, right? So let's say that this is going to bring this down a little bit. You've got to have kind of a level spot where the water's going sideways. It sweeps up and then it goes this way. Okay. So I'm going to just do that, just fairly quick. But again, I'm just sort of designing the painting. And I'm saying I want this to be here. That's a really strong line for how light the sky is. Do you see how light the sky is? So the sky's too light. Because, all right, so let's come back up here. It's a wider brush, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and let's just come back up here and say that here's our sky. And I want the sky a little bit darker up here and maybe more turquoisey here. Let's darken the sky a bit. Because as I come down, bye bird. Okay, so I'm going to just, it's a little bit more balanced with the light and the dark, right? Let's see, that got into some brown, which I don't want, so just wipe that off. And rinse this and try a different brush for my, I'm going to put some clouds back, all right? So I want this to be more of a marine kind of day, right? So I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to put some clouds back up here. And that brush won't do it, so maybe this one will. Just the back of this brush. Remember, this paint's all wet. So I'll make sure I'm not.
You're going to keep that bird.
No, I can always put the bird back. I kind of liked him, but he had to be. We had to release him for the
Yeah.
And I think it might be more interesting if we had some clouds kind of going this way. So break this long line up of stuff. Okay, so that's more interesting. And then I almost would like a little like a little ocean fog here. Let's see, let's take a little bit of blue here. Give a little bit of a, let's give some little bit more oomph to these clouds. Okay, it gets kind of fun, really, honestly, because you're going, what could I do next? Well, I don't know. Maybe I can wipe it all off into the sink, too, if I hate it. But all right, so there's some clouds. Well, this is the zinc white. Okay, so we've got some birds. We've got this wave. I want this wave to come over. Wipe the extra paint off. All right, so I've got this nice happy wave here, as opposed to an unhappy wave. It's coming this way, right? And I've got some low-flying birds, and I want to make sure that we've got the the water going up into the wave like that. And we've got, make sure the wave is dark enough down in here. So put this back. All right, so now what happens? Well, we gotta level this out now here.
Here's a question from Crisscross.
Yeah, hi, Crisscross.
How do you deal with any texture on the old painting that might impact what you're fixing?
Well, this one didn't have any.
Well, that's not the question.
Yeah, so sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't.
Sometimes you have to deal with it.
You're just sort of stuck with what it is, right?
Or try to incorporate it some other way.
See, I don't want anything that's so you get a big line like that. What you got to do is come under it with a blue color and thin it out. See? So you don't want any big lines back there like that. You want to suggest that there's something back there, but not, it's another little way back there. You don't want to get too far. And then here we go. We want this to be. This is all pretty wet, but there we go. All right, so there's a little bit of wave motion here, right? And I still need a little bit of white up here. Put the paint on the brush and then flatten it out. See that? Flatten it out, and then I don't think that's titanium. Whatever that is, it's not. I don't feel like that paint is, I don't know, got thinned down or watered down or whatever. But I'm not. Here we go. Well, if I do 2 or 3 tries on something and it's not working, then I know that there's something else going on here. Okay. All right, so I've got that going here. Now, let's do a little bit, make another brush. Then we'll go back and fix these flowers. But when you're thinking about doing stuff, let's see, can we do this at least?
After you revise a painting, can you be varnished? And can it be revarnished if it was previously varnished?
Sure.
Yes and yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be absolutely be previously can be varnished, revarnished again. And okay, there's our other seabirds. And we got our little seabirds back there. I still don't know if I like that line right there, like that. There we go. All right, just suggest some motion going here. Now the whole front of this, we sort of lost the front of this, yes and yes? So as fun as this is, we sort of we absolutely have lost the front of this. So now what? Well, this has to dry. Just take a second. I'm going to just dry this with the hairdryer because there's just so much paint on here. 5 minutes wasn't going to help it, all right?
All right, while she's drying that, take an opportunity now to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Smash that little bell to make sure you get notified when we go live on a non-Monday like we're doing right now. We are taking a little break in the action, a little R&R as they say, for the next week. So we will not be live this Monday, but the following Monday, which I believe will be the 21st, we will be back live, and I believe that's very close to the first day of summer. So we'll see you guys back in the summer. As we're doing our travelings, we may post a few things here and there in our Facebook, and you never know what we'll do on YouTube.
Absolutely. Definitely want to be doing that. So
We'll always be thinking of you.
Yeah, so here, let's put
We'll have our computers and toys with us so we can take care of any issues. And the personal art coaching will continue.
Yeah, we'll continue. We'll stop every night where we have internet and stuff, and personal art coaching will definitely continue. Okay, so there's our posts again. See, now we pushed by putting these posts in. We've
created depth.
we've given it some depth. See what we did there, right? And by, saying that there's some light on the, kind of on this old wood. Okay, like that. There you go. It's still wet, but I can kind of, if I'm careful and fast, I can do this, right? So here's our, okay, our wood now. Now you can almost feel the breeze, can't you, in the day with the way the birds are banking and everything?
Absolutely.
You can feel a breeze where you couldn't, before it was just pretty dull. And let's take some of that color and put it up here like this. Brighten this up. Okay, so let's get our path a little brighter. And then maybe I want a little bit of a shadow side here. And just on the edge of the path, there might be a shadow. Kind of here like that. Yes and yes.
And we are keeping a painting for ourselves that we still want to varnish. This painting has black, so I don't want to dull it. Well, we varnish, and it brightens the colors. It pops them again.
Doesn't dull them. But when I make it, I don't know what kind of paint you're using. So take a little canvas like this, paint it black, let it dry, varnish it, see what you get. Do a kind of a half of it varnish, half of it don't. Maybe put a piece of tape down the middle, and then see what you get. It never hurts to double check on your materials, because stuff, we use the Liquitex gloss medium and varnish, and we have not experienced any kind of difficulty with that. Yes and yes?
Yes and yes.
So I think I want a little bit of a...
anything we keep gets varnished. Anything we sell gets varnished. Basically, anything other than these little practice things or whatever she's been playing with, sketches, they'll get varnished when we sell them.
Yeah, and we got some grass coming over this way. Let's cut it this way like that. So, all right. So now what I need to do is sort of brighten up the grass, but you can kind of see from that again, we've created a windy day. And so then what I want to do here, because all this is dried, right, is I want to start adding some lighter grass. I want to kind of bury the posts a little bit. Let's see, let's just do some lighter yellows and golds in the grass like that. Yeah, yes and yes, and let's do a little bit of that over here. So we've put some yellow oxide is always a good color for grass.
The golden color.
Yeah. You can have some purples. Don't be afraid to get a little bit of dimension in it. Or some purple weeds or something. But what happened is that you had I still want this lighter path here that's doing this. It was wet when I put it on there, so there's our posts. Could do a long shadow across the... Here, let's do kind of a light purple shadow here instead of that dark brown. That's prettier. Maybe some light purple weeds. Got some weeds here.
A little bit of wildflower type stuff.
Yeah, it's growing somewhere here.
Something's going on there.
Put a little purple in there. You'll need something lighter coming down here at the end of the trail. Just do a light purple, huh? I want you to be able to go somewhere in my on my path. I want you to feel like you can go somewhere, right?
Make it a little bit more inviting than when it first started off.
Yeah, it was pretty dull before. There wasn't not too much going on, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to go down by the ocean side. No big waves, no action, no breeze.
Yeah, but now we have a little bit of a breeze. We've got some
You got
we got
breeze,
some
you got
depth. We've
action.
got a little bit of let's see, I think this guy could have another coat of paint on him, right? Like that, these little birds.
They look good.
And we got an ocean path here. So is there something else that, do we have some brighter orange? Can we put some? Again, you've got a palette full of colors, right? There you go. So I think we've done a lot for that painting that wasn't there before. Yes and yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that that's one of the things that makes painting so fun. Now this is dried now, and I think I mentioned to you that you have your most success with reds over over white. Yes and yes. So look how bright this red is.
It's on fire.
Um,
What red is that?
well, probably, I don't think it's even cad red. I think that's just Naphtha crimson. But I want you to see the difference between, say, these reds back here. That, I'll just go over these a little bit, but you see how much brighter the flowers got?
Even going those other reds, it's not as bright as going over the white.
No, even going over the other reds, it's never going to be as bright as going over the white. All right, and there's certain colors that like for instance luminous rose. There's a certain color, like for instance luminous rose. You've all seen me use it, right? Where when you use a color like this, it's just brighter, even if you add a little white to it. Look at how much brighter this is, or this is, than these other colors. You see what I mean? So this is like luminous rose. And so if I wanted to pop up a few colors in this painting, I have luminous rose, and then the other one I had that I really liked was luminous purple. I don't know if I have that out somewhere. I can find it easily. What are you? Oh, brilliant pink. That's interesting. What's this? This is by Holbein, called Brilliant Pink. Huh. Didn't seal very well. To pull it off. But... Okay, let's see. Brilliant Pink. That's a pretty color. All right. Wow, look at that.
Good contrasting color with the other one.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a nice contrasting color with the other one. Remember, we'd have that talk about wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So we popped up some of these flowers a bit. If you're gonna buy yourself paints, buy reds. Reds are some of your best options when thinking about buying paints. Like for instance, here's this vat orange. And look what that does. Yes and yes. And even here, look at that. It's vat orange. Now when I add a little bit to this red, these ones, I could add even a little bit of that vat orange to these red ones. just a touch on some places and kind of pop those colors up. So that's from gold and vat orange. You've got, what else could you do? You can't beat cad red medium for a paint. You know, if you're talking about wanting a really nice bright paint color, cad red medium is perfect. I want this flower to be a little bit lighter in here, like that. I'll just put a little gold with it, and then come back with my white, second coat of white. See that? I'll pop these up in a few places. Yeah. And let's get back to the greens. Second coat of green. And maybe over here we could do something. We could do something to brighten up. This painting just got a little dull, you know what I mean?
Not anymore.
There wasn't a lot to it, and it just, I like that green. It's a little bit brighter green. A couple of places. Pop some colors up. So, because that's what flowers are, right? So flowers are all about the greens and the whites and the the colors. You change the green colors. You change your greens, and see. Wow, doesn't that come out nice? Look at that. It's gonna look at that. What a difference, yes. And what a difference. Okay, so, and then if you've got a little bit of purple, you want a few little purple centers in here. Give those flowers just a little more definition. And then come in here like, say, this. And what could we write on our sign?
Think before you write.
What should we write on there, you guys? Like 5 cents or?
Well, I was thinking that too, putting a 5 in a little.
5 cents?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you do your cents.
How do you do your cents?
Well, I do a C and then a slash through it. You do it all in one stroke.
Huh. Oh, interesting. Okay, so
Yes, I've never seen you do that. It's never come up in all these years.
Never come up. All right, so you guys, what we've done here is we showed you some tips on how to go back and maybe enhance a painting that just got a little dull. We didn't get all of them done, but if you look at this one, and let me just put this brush in water, put this away. So you look, we did a couple of these for you, and I think that you can kind of see somebody's going to win. Did we put anything? Did we have enough likes to have people win anything?
Oh yeah, we got things going.
Okay, so I mean, you can see like there's a couple. Maybe these are, it might be one of your favorites. We got the weeds, and then the road. We've got the red bridge. We took the white bridge away, and we
went and painted the bridge.
We've got a painted bridge now. Okay, and we took this guy, and we took this painting and added just the guy back there, just a little bit of mystery. Kind of remember, we have that one painting, Alone in Winter, that's really cool with a person walking, and there's his woods, I guess, outside his house. And he certainly
he
was
walking in the fall there. We captured him.
So I have sort of an idea here, John. We did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? We did 5 because we did this one too. See, we did that. So I'd say let's pick a winner for these and let the person pick either the person walking, the beach, the clouds.
So you're assuming they're still on with us.
Well.
Okay, so they have to be present. We give
you have
them
to
X
be present to
time.
win. Yeah, you have to be present to win. If you're not to get that, you have to be present to win. You can still be in the drawing, I guess, for the Salvador stuff, but you got to be present to win one of these pictures. So we need to know which, you know, so we're going to do a drawing, and you'll have your choice of which one you think you'd like to have, and we'll put the others in the auction sometime later. We'll add these to our auction
In July.
in July.
So you want me to pick somebody?
Well, John's going to pick somebody, and I'm looking at these going to dried a little bit. You're going, oh, she's doing something again. But, well, you know.
Is a painting ever done, my queen?
Well, I don't know if it's ever done, but
165. All right, so we're going to be looking for this person right here. Right. Where's my spreadsheet?
there you go.
Scroll. Terry Turner.
Mary Turner.
Terry.
Terry?
Terry.
Terry. Where's Terry from?
Terry hails from Idaho.
Idaho. I don't think we've ever sent anything to Idaho.
No, I've never seen anything in Idaho.
Is Terry in the house to
Well,
pick?
I'm going to do an at Terry. I'm hoping that's her name. Terry T. I don't know if that's her or not. Well, we'll just do it this way. Terry Turner, come on down.
Come on down, Terry, if you're here.
Ooh, that didn't spell right.
So this do we got Terry?
Well, we get okay. We have delays. You know, you got to wait.
We have
Got to be
delays.
patient. While we're waiting for Terry to respond, hopefully she's still out there.
I could sign a couple.
Terry from Idaho. Terry from Idaho, we're looking for you. Your caller 33. All right, so we'll wait for a moment. We can pick another number though. We can do the Salvador kit.
Yep, all right. We're
Let's
gonna
do the Salvador kit. We can do that. Number 141. And that's going to go to Maryland.
Okay, so all of them are signed. Salvador pin. Oh, you're gonna love this, and this will be you're absolutely gonna love this. 24 colors, the brushes, the palette set. This is a courtesy of Salvador Paints. Really fun, really lovely colors. I'm telling you what, that's what I've been using all night, except for a couple Holbein bright pinks. You're gonna really love that. So congratulations. Where was she from?
Maryland.
From Maryland. Okay.
So I was trying to see if Terry's still out there.
Is Terry still out there?
Terry, you need to do the @ tech bear. I can see you.
We need to know if you're
I'm
there.
not seeing Terry. Anybody seen Terry?
You guys, anybody think that Terry's
Oh,
responded?
Terry's going to be disappointed. And she comes back and watches this again.
Find out. Yeah.
I have not seen Terry yet.
All right. So maybe we'll give Terry a downloadable lesson.
The Posca pins that we use are the 0.7 millimeter. The smallest ones you can get. Let me get Patricia Mack. Is the one that got the Salvador kit.
Okay. What was her name?
Patricia Mack.
Patricia Mack. So congratulations, Patricia, on the Salvador kit. Congratulations.
Wait a minute, why does it say Maryland? Why is everybody saying Maryland? Did I say Maryland's name? No, that's in Maryland. They're in Maryland, people. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
They're in Maryland. That person lives in the state of Maryland.
She lives in the state of Maryland. I never gave the name. Winner of the... You guys are so funny.
And her name is Patricia Max, right? From the state of Maryland.
Yes.
All right. So she's won the Salvador kit. Okay.
Okay.
And we've got
Terry's here. Terry? Terry T. All right, Terry T.
All right, Terry, what you have is you have a choice of we'll send you one of these when we get back from our trip. Either the flowers, the bridge, the ocean, the guy walking, or the clouds. You get to choose one. And let us know which one you'd like. Wow, huh?
Pick a painting.
So you're just going to pick a painting, okay? Which is kind of nifty, right?
All right.
So,
Now wait for her to respond.
so Terry's going to do that. In the meantime, we want to draw for the downloadable lesson for the cognac and dice.
All right. All right, so now we go back to random.org and get another number for the cognac and the dice, right?
Cognac and the dice downloadable lesson, or the equivalent of whatever thereof. And incidentally, Sylvia from Down Under, you want to contact John because you had somebody loves you and has donated something to you. Contact John to find out. Sylvia, Rex, you know who you are from Australia. One, contact us. But just we could.
Boy, talk about a cryptic message.
I know, but I mean, we have people that donate all the time to our scholarship fund, and they donate stuff, and they particularly picked her out.
Terry wants the walking person. Terry said man walking. Terry wants person walking. John, Terry wants the person walking.
I said, Terry, you got that.
Terry, you got
the guy walking.
I never saw Terry's response, though. How are you guys hearing this? Oh, I really like the person walking.
Okay. All right. So, Terry, you got it. So, how many mods did we get today, John?
How many what?
Moderators came today.
We have 3 of them. We have Steffi, Judy, and Luann, who have, those are the ones I have seen.
All right. So, I'm going to tell our moderators something, right?
Uh-oh.
We're going to tell our moderators something. We guys, you did this Friday. So, all right, Steffi, you're always writing lovely things, and every comment you write lovely things. You get first pick of these 4, and then it's Luann.
No, she would get next pick.
Next pick of the 4, and then Luann and Judy.
You can duke it out.
You guys can, we got the bridge, the water, the clouds.
I thought these were going to the auction. So much for that.
I'll tell you what, we could have put them in the auction, but here's the thing. These gals come up every week, no matter what crazy idea we have, and they show up. And so I think our moderators deserve that, don't you guys? See, a big shout out to our moderators.
You want to shout out the moderators? Well, yeah. You can't shout at them. They've been good.
And so anyway, so we're going to start with you, Steffi, then Luann, and Judy, and I think that's all who's here, right?
That's the only ones I see.
All right, so you guys, you can pick it. Just let us know, and
how to choose. Well, you have to pick one. You have to
tell us which one, and we'll put them aside for you.
I'm thrilled. I know you guys are. We're just giving the store away.
We're giving the store away tonight because we appreciate it. We did this crazy last.
We're going out of business sale.
Yeah.
At least for a week.
Yeah, for a week we're gonna. But so there'll be no show on Monday. But thanks. We did this. Got decided yesterday to do this show today, and so we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Like at the last minute,
I think this morning we're going to do a show today. I don't know. What should we do? I don't know. You're the queen. Well, I'll come up with something.
Yeah. So there you go. Isn't that fun? So you got the flowers, the clouds. All right. So thanks, you guys. And here's the thing. What here's
the thing.
We got these comments.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait.
What?
Did we congratulate the winner of the downloadable lesson? No.
Who was that?
I believe it's a birthday girl.
Really?
And I believe she's a member. She'll probably want to trade this in for something else. Of the downloadable.
Yeah, you can find anything on the downloadables. We got.
Is Teresa Purdue.
Teresa Purdue. Okay, Teresa, congratulations, Teresa. That's great. And I wanted to shout out to Juanita too. And Liz, she sent us a beautiful card with a little dog on it downstairs. We meant to show it to you. But Juanita and Lisa, thank you very much for the card. We appreciate it very much.
Very sweet.
Very sweet.
We love that.
Everybody has a great week next week. Oh, one of the things that's
Steffi says she wants the water one.
All right, Steffi, that's yours. Steffi's got the water.
We don't have much water up there in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Okay, Steffi, that's yours.
So what is Luann? Luann will be next. And Luann's not talking to me. Oh, wait, we have the pad and brushes to give away.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
can't
right.
you can't reach them, can you?
I can't reach.
No, just trust us. They're good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you want to do it when we get back? Because I didn't show them or anything. We'll do it when we get back.
We'll do it when we get back.
We'll do it when we get back.
We'll delay on that one.
We'll delay on that one. All right. So we got Luann.
Luann, thank you. Flowers.
All right. So Luann, you've got the flowers, and Judy.
You have the bridge or the clouds, Judy?
Bridge or the clouds, Judy?
Is somebody making a note of these?
Yeah, Judy's making a note. She knows. They'll all remember. Trust me.
Yeah, but who's packing them up?
Yeah. Okay.
Terry T, congratulations, you're out there. You have got the man walking, Terry T.
Yeah, congratulations. Terry's got the guy
do
walking.
I have Terry T's? Yeah, I have her address.
Yeah, Terry T.
Yeah, Terry T.
Got the man
right
walking.
there.
We've got the
In Idaho.
and Judy is still deciding between the bridge and the clouds.
Judy says, I love the bridge.
All right, so Judy's got the bridge. So you guys, what a fun day, right? We took some paintings that were just sitting there in a drawer, didn't do anything with them. We got a little bit of a tidbit on how you can go back and pop your colors up, and particularly some of those paintings you may have done that, you used your, maybe you used a student grade paint and they need a couple of more pops, but even the ones that professional, occasionally they just need another color, particularly red, and it's so, that's so true. So, all right, you guys, one thing that's come to our attention is that controversy in the comments is great, right? And I can't think of anything we'd all have a controversy over. So I want to just tell you something real fast that happened to us this week when we were trying to get some of these brushes and canvas boards from an online store that rhymes with drama. And anyway, John spent probably an hour and a half in the evening, loading stuff in the shopping cart, and it kept throwing it out. And then he'd go to close it, and we'd have to start over. He started over 5 or 6 times, and then in the morning he tried it on 2 different computers, 3 different browsers. Finally, ended up calling them, and after 4 or 5 tries, got somebody on the phone who took the order. And we felt like we were sort of over that experience. But we want to know. He says, what store do you like to shop? You can say, who do you like to shop with online? And if you had a bad experience, tell us about it. Everybody else wants to know. Who's annoyed you lately? How's that? Okay?
There you go.
You can leave that in the comments below.
All right, everyone. With that note, we will see you on the 21st, I think around the first day of summer. The Salvador paint set was given away to somebody already. I don't remember. Scroll. They went to Patricia Mack in Maryland. That's when everybody was congratulating Maryland.
Yes.
I just love you guys. All right, we'll see you when we get back. Ciao.
Right. Take care. Bye.